When you look at the continuity between you and your center, you've gone through a number of different players. It looks like Cal is the front runner now. Does it take time to get comfortable with a guy in the center?
Yeah, I think it takes a certain amount of time. And then every rep is valuable. It really is. I think it adds up in that bank. I'll say this, I think we do a great job of making sure that multiple guys, not just Khalid and Harry, are prepared to go in and play center in a game. And that's with snaps, that's with reps, that's with extra stuff. So I think there's multiple guys that can play. But I do think it makes a difference when you can get, just infinite amount of reps with guys in a sense.
How much adjustment is there when you went through 3 guys last year beyond your control? But how much adjustment is there from one guy to the next, even though you do take snaps in practice?
It takes 2 or 3 snaps for your muscle memory to kick in and say, okay, this is the nuance of this player. But operationally, it's smooth. I think it's very smooth.
2 or 3 snaps on the side.
On the sideline, and that's why you see quarterbacks go over there and get some before they go in.
How have you seen Khalid grow? I mean, he went into training camp last year to start an unfortunate ankle injury, but he started your last 5 games with. I mean, where have you seen his development?
I think one, he's physical, he's tough, and he's smart. He understands football. I think you can tell. He gets more confident with his calls the more you go on, and sniff stuff out that I won't see or that other guys won't see, and it'll be a great call and it'll be a positive play because of him. I think he's doing a great job. Again, I think everybody's really doing. I think Harry grew a lot last year too, playing. But it's been fun seeing the development of both of those guys to date in this camp.
Andrew, do you remember the first time you saw Kobe when you were on a football field?
Must have been at Stanford somewhere. Freshman year. No, it was my freshman year, my true freshman year, yeah. Practice, I think, probably in the summer or something.
Impressions, what do you remember?
Yeah, tall, big, fast. That was the first sort of thing that was just how fast this guy was. I couldn't believe he played tight end, not wide receiver.
You've talked about ball security being object number 1 at camp.
Yeah.
How do you work on it in camp when there isn't any contact? I mean, what do you do?
I think as a runner, making sure you are fastidious about having it high and tight. If you're in traffic, 2 hands on the ball. From a quarterback's perspective, interceptions is maybe the obvious thing that you can work on in camp, and not throwing them and being hard on yourself. If maybe if a ball if it's late over the middle, it's behind a guy, it's tipped up, and it's not falls harmlessly to the ground. You count that as an interception though, because that's more often than not what will happen. So making sure you're throwing accurate balls, making sure you're not making rash decisions.
When you look at your offense, you put up a lot of numbers, despite an inconsistent running game. How much, when you add Frank to this mix, where A, he's going to block well for you, and B, you can't sit there and if you load the box, make you pay, or if you drop back, you'll pay.
Yeah.
Had that luxury.
Yeah, no, I think it's not just up to Frank for us to run the ball well. I mean, it's a unit effort. It truly is. Obviously start up front with the O-line, tight ends, wide receiver, quarterback, and all of us being on the same page. But I think he adds a great dynamic to our offense, to this team. He's tough, he's smart, he protects his butt off. Maybe one of the best in this generation of football players as protecting running back. And he's gonna get those yards that you need, whatever it is. So it's been fun practicing with him. I think I know I'm learning a lot from him about protection and how running backs see things, and I know he's passing along to the younger running backs. So he's a great addition.
Does he talk much? I mean, he seems
not to y'all.
True. Agreed.
But yes, he's a great communicator on the field. It really is.
Well, so with pass protection, is it more physical with him, or is it mental, or is it just a blend?
Yeah, I think it's a blend. I mean, he's obviously been around and seen a lot of football, and that helps. His memory bank is full of looks, and he, I think without a coach having to coach him how to do it, he's done it before. He knows, and you can tell it's rubbed off on Boom and Zerlon and Vic and Josh, the younger guys, because he just does it with such. Makes it look easy sometimes, when it's not. It really is a hard thing to do, and he is physical. I mean, he's gonna get his pads low and stun a linebacker.
So he blocks like he runs.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much does it help you as a quarterback knowing that if he's blocking on your backside, he's gonna pick up that rush coming around that way?
Yeah, I think. I don't think I've ever fallen into the trap of not trusting a guy back there at the end protection. I think anybody we've played with, I've trusted to do the right job in protection. I hope they trust me to do the right job with the ball. But it is good to know that you have Frank Gore on your side, and he's going to be there running the ball, protecting, doing all the little things right.
Andrew, I know there's fans at all the practices, but tonight is the night when they really pack the house. Is it fun to have that extra juice out there for the workout?
Yeah, it's always fun. I think that's what we tell the young guys. One of the biggest differences between, I think, an NFL camp and a college camp is you do have fans, out there, and it does give you a good energy and breaks up the monotony a little bit. And we appreciate it when the folks come out, especially on the night practices, and it should be a good atmosphere, and hopefully we'll put on a good show.
Andrew, putting the pads on a big deal for you guys as a team, symbolic, maybe because of how the season ended last year?
That's a good question. I think regardless of how your season ends the year before, putting the pads on is a special thing. It's donning your full gear, whatever that is. It's another step in the process. As a quarterback, pads or no pads, practice doesn't change much for us. But I think for the guys that are going to be hitting a little, it is a big step in assembling that team in full pads for the first time.
Have you guys talked? I know because Chuck's had the whole build a monster thing since he's been here.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked a lot this offseason about trying to be more physical? And obviously, you can't do it until now. But
yeah.
Is that something that you kind of now try to apply?
Yeah. No, I think the key is no matter how much you talk about it, you're going to have to apply it on the field physically, and I think that's where guys like Frank Gore, Anthony Costanzo, these tough guys, Dwayne Allen, go out there and they're gonna hit. Defensively, Art Jones and Trent Cole and Eric Wall. They're gonna come and hit, and I think that attitude starts in practice, and especially on the first day of pads. And so we can talk about and say what we'd like to do, but we're gonna have to go out there and do it.
Your athletic ability, Andrew, is obviously one of your great attributes. As you get more experience, but I'm not going to use old.
Yeah.
As you get more experience, does this become schemed runs for you? Do you become less? Does that become less of a factor, less of a weapon? Where do you stand in terms of desire to do that?
Yeah, no, I think as a quarterback, if you can scramble for a first down or two a game, that's a big deal. That's something I learned early on, and as I've short career so far, over 3 years, you realize that a big part of that too is learning how to take care of your body and not putting yourself in a position, to take an unnecessary hit at an unnecessary time of the game. Yeah, if it's fourth down for a game, you're gonna do something that maybe you wouldn't do early on second down, on the second drive of the game. But I think you understand the sort of risk reward of each hit, but I wouldn't say stopping running at all is part of it.
Andrew, with you talk about preparing and the physical nature. Talk about the value of in camp. It's ones on ones.
Yeah.
You're going against Vontae. What's the value of that?
Oh,
regular season, that's not the case for most.
Yeah, huge value. The old adage, iron sharpens iron. I think when you have Vontae Davis and T.Y. Hilton going against each other, the two guys, Pro Bowl guys that have been there. Andre Johnson and Darius Butler in the slot. Those guys played a lot of football. And up front when you get ones-on-one in the pass rush and Mike Adams and Dwight Lowery and trying to figure out what they're doing. They know how to disguise. They know how to fool a quarterback. So it sharpens and hones your skills, I think, very much. And it's competitive. Guys take it to heart. You don't want to be embarrassed by your teammate out on the practice field in front of all the fans and the cameras. And I think it's great that that we're having these great practices, and a rising tide lifts all ship. The better everybody else plays, the better I think we'll play.
Andrew, with Andre Johnson, you'd love every receiver to be wide open. That's just never going to be the case. But what is the trust factor with him when he's covered, that he makes contested catches? There's got to be at least some consideration of that.
No, absolutely. And that's, I think, a big part of camp is one-on-one drills, and tight man coverage. And you don't get that necessarily in OTAs, the offseason, with the rules of how physical it be. But you understand that what may not look like a wide open route with Andre, it really is, because he's so big, he's so physical, and he does such a great job of contorting his body to shield a defender away or to put that ball in a safe place. So it's been fun to sort of see how his body moves in that sense and see him go up and make some plays.
He kind of makes them look easy, it seems.
Yeah, he does. Right? No, he does. And I think that's the mark of a great wide receiver, a great athlete, anything that makes something very hard look easy and simple and smooth, and he does that.
As a quarterback, do you go back and look at like what Andre did before when he came on board?
I saw enough of Andre. Look, I was kidding. I have always watched Andre, but I think it's more important to figure it out on the practice field. And I haven't gone back and looked too much. I saw enough of him as a kid.
Are you seeing evolution from Dante Moncrief, and if so, what kind of evolution do you hope and want to see?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can tell he's taken a lot of ownership over his routes, over his technique, over his assignment, and the run game, being physical. And I think having that year of experience just allows you to play faster. It allows you to go 100 miles per hour and not have to think about what you're doing. And I think he's if he's not there, he's getting close to that point. And he's been making a bunch of big plays this camp, and it's been fun throwing with him. All right.
What's your level of appreciation for just how your offensive line is developing so
Yeah.
far, and just the athleticism that
Yeah.
required for those positions?
Oh, I think a bunch of athletes on that O-line, guys that maybe some of the best athletes on the team, and they weigh 310 plus pounds. So it's fun to watch them. It's fun to see how Todd Harriman's has come in and fit in with that great veteran presence, and Lance Lewis has done a great job. Obviously, Costanzo has been super steady the past 3 years over there. And Muhort, I think, has done a really great job of just sliding in and getting comfortable with that right tackle position. We've talked about Collett earlier. And then Harry and Hugh and Joe Wrights, Dave Arkin, a bunch of guys that can play ball. So it's been fun watching them, and I think they're doing a heck of a job. I appreciate it, y'all.
Okay.